gente? It's your girl, Vanessa. Welcome to another episode of Nativision. Pew, 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 pew. Today, I'm your co host, and I'm going to be sharing some insight with your host, Natalie. Today's topic is how to take constructive criticism at school and at work.
Wow. Thank you, sister, for that intro. Sounded like a natural. As you can see, we're having a little bit of technical difficulties. Yeah, mic down. Meow. Meow. So we're just going to share the mic, okay? We're just going to be creative, and that's what we're going to do, okay? Okay. Job's never finished. All right. So, hello. How are you doing? My name is Natalie, because she already told you my name. So today we're just going to jump on in, and today I'm going to start off with a little baby story of how I encountered my first encounter with constructive criticism in college. So pretty much like it's probably the same for you, where we do critique and we're literally critiquing our piece, whatever, or my photo, in her case, her project, whatever, etc. And we're literally picking it apart. But that is a good thing, believe it or not, because it's not all negative. Because without negative, you can't grow, right?
Right.
So this is gonna be my first time experiencing it. I'm gonna say I was about 18 years old, probably 18 years old, and it was the first time I made my photograph, and it's in front of the classroom, so all your peers are gonna critique it, including your professor. And so I forgot what my first photograph was critiquing. Of course, it's like a million years ago, but all I remember was I did not know how to take constructive criticism because of our upbringing, a lot of things, etc., etc. And art is obviously very personal, right? Right, sister.
Yes. Very.
So whatever you make is like that's your baby, right? So I was like so into this photograph. It was my first assignment. I'm so excited, and
I'm so excited.
I just can't hate it, just like that. And then I just remember taking it very personal, and it hurt me.
Did
You know,
cry? Did you cry?
I'm didn't cry. I wanted to though.
Okay.
Yeah. But because it was just that's my baby, and they're like, oh well, why didn't you do this, and that, and blah blah. And I was like, and I was just so in shock because I've never had constructive criticism before, and so but that's okay though, because that was the first one, and that's maybe how you take it, but you know what I'm saying. So yeah, I was just a new baby into this very harsh constructive criticism world, and compare myself to the last day where we were critiqued by actual editorial photographers. I was critiqued by a sports photographer, and I was critiqued by a commercial photographer. Comparison to how I took their critique, it was like night and day. I am not the same woman that I took the first day. So if you feel that way, ladies and gentlemen, that's okay. It's okay. Because why? You always have to work on yourself. So that's a little bit about me. I'll kick it off to my sister.
Oh, thank you. Okay, that was so mature of you. I love it. So good. All right. Well, I'll share my experience when I was I think it was like Interior Design 101 or something like that. I can't remember which professor it was, but like literally it was, I think it was a group. I can't remember if it was like by myself or a group project, but I'll share the one I remember, which is a group project. And it was like three of us. it was a huge project because I think it was like our midterm project. And we had to do material boards, we had to do drawings, we had to, um, have a great presentation, like verbally. So I just remember right before we had to present, I was sweating bullets. Like I was sweating profusely. And I didn't know if I was going to faint while presenting, but I didn't. Okay. But it was also very brutal. And it was like professionals that came in to critique us on top of like your professor's critique, and they were all trying to be nice. I remember they were just trying to be very nice about it, but I just knew that we had totally um not done good. um so yeah, I went and I cried like a baby, and I ran out of the classroom like a child. And it is what it is. I learned from it, and I mean, our grade wasn't terrible. I think we got like a C, but I still took it very personal. But I think the reason why is like all of your, I think it has to do with your psychological well-being. Like if you keep getting spoken to negatively when you're younger instead of like positive reinforcement, then when you come to a point in your life when you're an adult where you can't take criticism well. So yeah, I think that's why.
Okay. And that's why we're here. We're gonna help you out, okay?
We're gonna
Oh,
help you. Because you're not going to go through it. We did. We went through it, so you don't have to. So yeah. And then fast forward to my senior year, I thought I had it in the bag, and I did. Like I did really good, and I'm very, very proud of it. I would always get really good feedback when it comes to color theory and my technical work, but presenting was not it. Like I couldn't do it for the life of me. I got so much anxiety trying to like present my projects. And it's not because it wasn't done right or because I didn't have enough time and I felt like it wasn't good enough. It was just literally that anxiety of talking to others and like public speaking, really. So I did my project. I think I was the next because there was a list in your name. You knew when you were up next. So the girl that was presenting before me was talking, and I started to like hyperventilate until I got an anxiety attack, like a full blown anxiety attack. And I could not breathe. Like I thought I needed to go to the ER, and they rushed me out of the classroom. And I, I went into urgent care in the university, and the doctor told me that I was having an anxiety attack. And then she asked me like, why, like what brought you to that point? And I told her I was about to present my final and I totally lost it. And she's like, but why? And I'm like, I don't know. Cause I was prepared. I felt,
how old were you?
I think I was like, how old was I?
You're like 25.
25, 24, 25. Yeah. And but I don't know. I don't think it's age. I genuinely think it's just it's just I just couldn't present. Like it just gave me a lot of anxiety to present. And so she told me like, were you not prepared? Did you feel like you know, I don't know. I don't know. I don't remember. You know,
No, I feel like that was great. I feel like most of the anxiety is part of confidence, and you're still young. Not that it's about age, about experience. So I think confidence, because I would shake a lot too. I was like, oh no, it's my turn. Oh God, I'm shriveling. No, I want to hide. No, but it's part of yeah. So it's just keep going and doing it. I think that's maybe part of the reason why you maybe got an anxiety attack or why you get really nervous. It's just really just practice.
practice makes perfect, right? I think so too. I think that it was a lack of experience, and I was new to the process of interior design, et cetera, et cetera. But ended up doing great. Obviously I graduated, and then as I segue to starting work in my career, it definitely took a few years for me to feel very comfortable in presenting, and now I can speak to the whole office. I can do like mini seminars. I can present in just large crowds. So it just takes practice. And I'm like, I don't know, 12 years, 14 years in, but it just takes practice and you're going to get it.
You're gonna get it. Yeah. No, I think you're great. I think even in this podcast, she's like, I got this. Let's go. I don't need no notes. What you got? You need notes? All right. See, and she's a natural, okay? But that goes with your.
You too.
Yeah. It just goes with years of experience. Because I would say the same. So now, fast forward, like, okay, like, let's fast forward to the first game I shot. And no, yeah, let's go back to the first game I shot in college. Like, again, I was shaking. I don't know what I'm doing. I was super nervous. But I want to do a good job. So, um, so yeah, I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing, and there's so many photographers that are better than me. You know, you think of everything when you're in college because you're still like new and you're growing. So then, fast forward to my first game I shot in the pros, I was very relaxed because I knew I belonged there and I was ready because of the experience I had previous.
Yep. No, I agree. I think it has to do a lot with your confidence and just thinking. You have to just think that you got it, right? Like you have to be.
It's almost fake it till you make it. Yeah, it really is.
It really is. Yeah. There's a lot of times where I was like, "Oof, I've never done this, but I'm just gonna pretend that I got it. I got it." And I cannot remember for the life of me where I was working. And I just said something to a fellow colleague, like, this is how it's done, blah, 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 da, 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 da. And she's like, oh, okay. And then, and then later on, I was like, yeah, I don't know.
But you said it with so much fun.
Yeah. So it's just in your delivery. Like you have to, convey that confidence that, like it's all about delivery. And if you can sell whatever you're saying, then they're going to believe you because you're saying it with confidence. And that is what interior design is. Like when I have a palette of materials and interior architecture that I'm presenting, I have to believe it. Like I have to be solid on my design in order for the client to be like, yes, everything that she says, yes, yes, yes. And I want it.
It's almost like I feel like your talent almost has nothing to do with it, and it's more of like how you present yourself. Yeah, that's how you get hired. Right.
Mm-hmm. It's your confidence. Literally, yeah. You could say all the things in your resume, but if you come in here like, hey, Mr. Blah, 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 here is my resume, but doesn't matter because this is me. And you're just going to blah, 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 all about you. And at the end of the day, they're just going to be like, all right, she's solid or he is solid. Let's hire them on. So, yep, has to do with your confidence. So I'm sure you want to know, how did we conquer? How did we get to where we are today? So first and foremost, you have to learn to relax, like literally breathe. It sounds so silly and mundane, but just breathe in deep breaths. And I'm an advocate of just learning to go with the flow, or if you study and write notes and have like all these cards in front of you, you're just going to make yourself more nervous because now you have like, oh, I have to have all these points and all these lists and list. So for me, it works best when I do things on the fly. Of course, you have to, with experience, you get more comfortable and your craft better, and you get to learn how your clients are too, because her clients for photography can be differ from my clients from interior design. They're wired different, right? Because if, let's say, I say I did high-end residential, for example, and those clients, they're different than my commercial clients now. So reading your audience is very important, and reading the room, like, it's all about reading the room. What about you?
No, I was gonna say, how did you keep going? How do you take constructive criticism now? Like, say, oh, like, oh, he doesn't like it. What do you say?
Okay, so let's just say
How did you come about?
how did I come about? Okay,
How did you become?
how did I become? Well, I mean, if it's internal constructive criticism, then you're not gonna hurt my feelings, really. It's like I have the thickest skin.
Don't
Um,
take it personal.
yeah, just don't take it personal. It's not, a lot of people take it very personal, like it's your project, and it's not your project. It's the firm's project. It's not, you know, whoever, like, you can't, it's not yours. Let's just put it that way. It's not your project. So don't take it personal. We are designing for the client. So that means the team doesn't like this tile, that's fine. I'm going to go get like two more options, and then we can decide what works and what doesn't work. So that's why it's very important to have internal meetings, so that we can review the project and see what's working and what's not working. If a client is giving me feedback while I'm presenting, then I'll be like, that's great. I always have options like in my back pocket if they don't like something. So just be prepared in that way. Just have options. Always have options. So yeah, I mean, I don't take any. I used to take a lot of things very personal, but now it's just like it's not my project.
I was gonna say, how did you come about? Like, how did you detach? That's what I was gonna talk about. So it's almost like you have to detach yourself to like the project or the photo, right? Because it's like when they're critiquing you, they're gonna be like, oh, you should have lit it like this. If you should have lit it like this, that's a good concept, but you should have lit it like this. Or why did you do that? So you just have to learn how to digest. That's why I'm like, for me, critique means feedback.
Yeah.
So almost like that word too.
Yeah.
Like I don't like constructive criticism or critique. I'm like, "Eek."
Yeah.
No, like think of it as feedback, because you want feedback. Even like doing this podcast, I'm like, well, I want to know your feedback because I want to know how to be better, right? So you have,
Better.
yeah, you just gotta be better.
Just be better. Yeah, and then we give each other a lot of feedback too. Like, she'll send me photos, or even in the videos, she's like, check out my video, make sure it's good. And I do the same, like, oh, I'm gonna get this piece of furniture, or what do you think about this rug, or etc. But yeah, it's just learning to detach from whatever you're presenting, or in life. Really, just don't take anything personal. I think it's only gonna make you better. So don't stress it.
Or let's say, how did I take a negative and turn it into a positive? Let's say, let me see. I want to say I was getting critiqued by a sports photographer in one of my finals or whatever, X. Um, he said, make it more dramatic, whatever, the lighting. He gave me specific instructions, and I was like, I'm gonna, yes, sir, let's do it. Because I was really into sports, obviously. I was taking a sports portrait, and then I was like, yes, sir. And because I digested his feedback, I became better. So that's the only way you're going to grow, uh, getting feedback and responding and digesting it to it. Don't just be like, no, it's a good photo. I was like, because you're never going to learn, right? Or whatever. Or like, nah, it's good. I was like, I don't know, is it? Like, you got to pay attention to like people's feedback because at the end of the day, especially photo project, whatever, it's not really going to be your photo, right? It's their photo. You're doing it for them, right? So yeah, the way that's why I say I don't even like the word critique or constructive criticism because everybody's gonna take it negative and they're gonna be like ugh, and I'm like no, it's a good thing if someone wants to critique you, especially someone better than you. Actually, you want someone better than you to critique you because you want to learn from them. You want to pick your brain.
Yes. So thank you for reminding me. Always hang around with people that are better than you because those are the people that you're going to learn from and they'll mentor you. Believe it or not, they're going to mentor you. So just surround yourself with really smart and talented people in that profession that you're looking into because that will make a world of a difference for you. So let go of the ego, let go of the insecurity. You're going to get through it. Ask a lot of questions. And I think that's it for me.
Yep. So we're just going to segue. So in conclusion, it's pretty much just change your mindset and be more open. That's really that like literally we want you to turn a leaf. Yeah, so now I'm going to talk to my beautiful, stubborn, very egotistic people. If you don't turn a leaf, you're not going to go very far. Nobody wants to work with you. Yeah. So it's all a mindset. And that's pretty much my advice. And you'll do great. Just be more open-minded and everybody will be more open-minded to you. And everybody's going to not like you, but will respect your opinion. And you got something, sister?
Nope, that's beautiful.
All right. That was beautiful. All right. And here we are. We're going to close it out. Thank you for watching Nativision. Pew, 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 pew.